Oh, well, the camera's rolling. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ebony and I share motivational and inspirational content for entrepreneurs, as well as vlogs showing the behind the scenes of my life and my journey to building my empire. On today's Car Talk, I'm going to be talking about anxiety, mental health, and specifically ways that you can combat an anxiety attacks. Well, things that I do to stop them right in their tracks. Full disclaimer, I am obviously not a doctor, so what I'm sharing today are things that have helped me in my own journey with anxiety, but it's a mental illness, so don't take it lightly. If it's something that you feel you need to go seek treatment for, definitely do that. Don't take YouTube or an article or anything like that as treatment, because it's not. It might help, but it's not treatment at the end of the day. Today's video is about anxiety. Like I said, I have mentioned before that I have anxiety. I was diagnosed when I was 17, and I probably had it forever, but I was diagnosed when I was 17. This was after I was in a really bad car accident, so I was going to therapy and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of came up. I wanted to discuss it because I feel like it's not spoken about enough in the African American community or amongst Black and brown people. So it kind of is taboo, but it's mental health has no ethnicity or color. Like, this is what it looks like. Y'all see me, I'm Black and I have anxiety. So yeah, so I just want to talk about it, make people more comfortable if they're dealing with it, that it's okay to speak about it. It's okay to not be okay. And that's what I want to use my platform and all that for, is to just make people feel seen and heard, because I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. This video was inspired because yesterday I was having a really rough day with my anxiety. I had anxiety attacks and I was crying and I just was like not feeling yesterday, and it was brought on by, probably for me, I can kind of tell when I'm gonna probably have something like that happen. And I hadn't been sleeping, I hadn't really been eating, so it was bound to happen. That's when I know, like, okay, you're not really taking care of your basic needs, so you're gonna go into overdrive. So what an anxiety looks like for me is I'm super irritable, super tired, just can't focus, just I'm right here, I'm right there. I'm either eating a lot or I'm not eating at all. I'm either sleeping a lot or I'm not sleeping at all. I'm crying. Sometimes if it gets really bad, I'm crying a lot. And also if it gets to where I'm at my peak, I break out in hives and can basically get like an allergic reaction. So I break out in hives and then my throat kind of starts closing up a little bit. So that's what anxiety looks like for me. And that's also why I got more into spirituality, because I've been diagnosed and I've been prescribed different medications, but I decided to not go that route for several reasons. Not to say is there anything wrong with that, just for me, I decided to do more holistic. So I found little tricks and techniques that help me. And I'll do another video on like my daily, what I do. But today I'm going to talk about ways to combat an anxiety attack. Oh my gosh. So if you are in the midst of one, your heart's racing, your breathing gets shallow, these are things that I recommend, and these are things that work for me in reversing that effect. So number one, my most important thing that you should do is breathe. So if anxiety, you're either thinking about the future or you're thinking about the past and you're not present. So a lot of people will tell you to ground yourself in the moment in order to kind of get past what you're feeling. So just take a few deep breaths, breathe, and allow your body to stabilize and get back into the present moment. I had a therapist tell me to do a 4-count breath. So breathe in and count to 4, and then breathe out and count to 4. So, oh my gosh, sorry, I just like drank a bunch of water. But breathing is the one thing that I would recommend if you're in the middle of an anxiety attack and just need to relax. The next thing I would recommend is to lessen your screen time. So put your phone down, even turn off the TV and just kind of sit in silence for a minute and just get into the present, like I said. So one way you can do that, which I've had a therapist tell me this, is it's a grounding technique, which grounding literally just means grounding yourself in a present situation where you are currently. So you name 4 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, 4 things you can hear, 4 things you can feel, that kind of thing, until it just forces your brain to divert back to what's currently happening. The third thing I recommend is journaling, which I speak about journaling a lot. I love journaling, but specifically for an anxiety attack, if you're able, journal out everything. So start with how do I feel, and then just list it all without trying to make sure it sounds a certain way or it looks a certain way. Just list everything. And then that again is another way to bring yourself to the current moment and see how you're feeling now. The fourth thing is exercise. It doesn't have to be anything vigorous, but that's why I really got into health and fitness and wellness, because I know that getting your body moving releases endorphins, which are the happy chemicals in your brain, and exercise is one good way to combat anxiety when you're in the midst of an anxiety attack. So just taking a walk or even dancing, something like that, just so you can get the blood pumping. The fifth thing I recommend is going into nature. Get outside. Like I said before, take a walk or something so you can just be in nature. It's something about being with the natural elements that's very soothing and calming and get you into the present moment. But yes, get into nature. It's great to just be with the elements and be with Mother Nature, and just, you don't have to do anything but sit there. If you go to a park or something and just sit, people watch. The sixth thing that I recommend is watching your caffeine intake. So yesterday, I drank a different kind of coffee than I typically do. So that wasn't helping, and I have to be really pay close attention to what kind of drinks and stuff that I get and what their caffeine levels are, because I am sensitive to caffeine. So I can't drink like multiple cups of coffee typically unless it's like decaf or something like that. So just watch what you're putting into your body, because not to say cut out coffee completely, but if you're already feeling anxious, don't try to combat it with coffee. Maybe try tea or decaf, because decaf does have a little caffeine in it, if you don't know. Try to limit like chocolate, things like that, because chocolate has caffeine too. So don't try to, just don't drink coffee if you're in the midst of an anxiety attack. Drink some water, drink some water, I don't know, kombucha maybe, and just anything but caffeine or anything with a high caffeine level. The seventh thing that I recommend is taking a nap. Naps are super good for just refreshing yourself and resting, because like I said, I know my anxiety attacks come on when I don't sleep, so a nap is sometimes exactly what I need to do. So, whoa, it's a dog. So take a nap. The eighth thing that I recommend is crying. That sounds weird, but crying is super great for your emotions. Like, do you notice you feel really tired and exhausted and drained after crying a lot? It's because you're just releasing. Crying is the one way that you release emotion. So if you're holding back tears, because yesterday, y'all, I was crying so much I started hyperventilating at one point, which is not something I'm obviously recommending, but it was just so much pent up emotion that needed to be let out that it was to that point. And I felt a little bit better after. It was just, yesterday was one of those days you just gotta chalk it up, like tomorrow's gonna be better. But crying, just to release that emotion, not forcing yourself, but not stopping yourself if you do have to cry. The ninth thing that I recommend is talking to a friend or family member I know I have people around me that I call, not to say, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack, but like my mom usually knows, so she kind of just sits there with me on the phone. We don't have to talk, but it's just nice to have somebody with me when I'm going through that. But if you have somebody that you can just talk to, it doesn't have to be about what's going on with you mentally, but it can be about just something to take your attention from your anxiety, so something to keep you in the present. The 10th thing that I recommend is watching a kids show. So I love watching kids shows because they are made for children, obviously, so they're very light and they're very easy to understand. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, what do they mean by that? What is that? What are they talking about? Because they're for kids. So it's something that's light. You can just watch it. I've been on this That's So Raven kick, which obviously I was a kid when it first came out, so it's kind of like nostalgic for me, but it's a kid's show. So something like that. I've been on my Disney Plus kick, and just watching kids shows or something funny. I love going on, what do I love going on? I'm trying to think. Oh, I have like a saved, which this goes back to my screen time thing, but look, you already know. So I have a saved album on Instagram with things that make me laugh. So I usually will go to that too and just kind of look through things. And laughing is really good in general because it's a happy emotion and you're just letting out happiness, and it's a high vibration emotion, but not emotion, but action. But if you're able to make yourself laugh and see something funny or talk to someone who makes you laugh, definitely do that, because it's a way to bring you to the present and just release in a different way. So those are my 10 techniques that I use to combat my anxiety attacks, and I hope it helps y'all. Again, I said I'll do a video on like what my journey with anxiety, a more in-depth thing, but this is just something quick. If you're dealing with something, you're feeling anxious and in the moment, these are things that I do that help me. And again, it's okay to seek help. It is okay to not be okay, and just let somebody know. Let somebody know that you're not okay. That is perfectly fine. But yes, that's this week's car talk, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you feel like this video can help somebody, make sure you share it. Please get the thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below something that you do to combat your own anxiety attacks. I'm always trying to do different things and learn different things, so that'll be really great. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you know when I post. I've been posting car talks every single Sunday, and then sometimes I post another video during the week. But just count on the Sundays, y'all. I'm trying. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ebony, and I share motivational and inspirational content for entrepreneurs, and also share vlogs showing my behind. Oh my god, I'm just all over the place.